Previously on FACEOFF.
We want to develop future leaders of Malaysia.
The RPC is the finale of all the challenges of the 2-year YCDP program.
It was a really tough journey.
I want to win.
All of you have a chance to become CEO. Spend time on being the best.
If you don't have the motivation, you will not win.
The harder the battle, the greater the leader. It takes guts to take responsibility.
We just go to the one downstairs, yeah? We start at the top.
Oh no!
Four teams, 2 years, one final challenge. This is FACEOFF Season 2. The battle begins in this episode. In the coming weeks, teams will take part in workshops and grueling challenges before competing in the Regional Business Challenge to create a foolproof business plan that supports Boost Indonesia in its aim to increase financial inclusion in the country. Their first challenge is Lego Serious Play. Teams will use Lego bricks to understand the interrelationship between Boost Indonesia and its 8 personas.
The Lego Series Play is a workshop that was provided during the 9 weeks preparation. It allows participants to use the blocks and think about all the stakeholders involved in the industry.
We had to build the Boost ecosystem and what we think of Boost today. And then we had to improve on it and then build an aspirational Boost model. And with that, we could identify a sort of strategy plan.
Can you also see how everyone was involved? Everyone built, everyone shared, everyone spoke. So you will have the same bricks, but we always have different answers and everything because we all have different perspective of things.
When they create, there's a new competitor, it will move here. So we directly attract people out from Boost. They move together.
And of course, the e-wallet provider is actually connects to the federal bank because they are the one that issue the license to them.
And on the same day, teams get a crash course on data analytics to help them prepare for their market validation exercise.
Why we introduce this is so that participants are able to conduct online public data analysis to drive the decisions that they will make within their strategy paper.
Google has created a merchandise store that opened up their analytics for free for people to use.
Together with the participants were the Boost Indonesia team. So they were also able to actually give real-life context to what's really happening in Indonesia before they actually moved to Indonesia to conduct their market validation.
After the workshops, teams will compete in a business presentation judged by the key leaders of Boost Indonesia, Pak Joe and Pak Wendy.
In this challenge, there were 8 personas subdivided in 4 subgroups.
The pitch presentation will take place through a 15-minute video conference with the judges and mentors from Boost Indonesia.
Each team had to pitch their solution and validate this idea.
This presentation is crucial as it will determine the team's final business plan. One wrong move can change everything. It's time for the presentation.
3 main reasons are there is lack of support and guidance from the BTPs to the BPs, lack of focused learning for the BPs, and also lack of motivation from the BPs. The Undercovers have come up with a solution, the Boost Printer Academy.
Every fact that we presented was aligned with what they were facing.
We managed to come out with a strategy that believed that it will work to get merchants as consumer influencers to acquire new users and gain more visibility. Through the quest, frequent more of the local merchants perform activities within the shop.
We are a very great listener. We know what they want.
The highest Boost transaction for all these data, PLN, is actually the smallest denomination.
Phase 1 will be more on the merchant and supplier relationship.
The presentation went much better than what we anticipated.
We're proposing a solution called Pay Later, similar to a credit card. By doing that, we can address the consumer troubles of their unsteady income, whether it's on a weekly basis, not being able to get the consistent needs of their items.
We were confident of beating the other teams. teams.
This is our plan. First phase, we call it quick fixes. We do some design revisions to the app so that it's easier to use and easier to navigate. The easier it is for them to buy something, then the more they're likely to actually buy it.
Fiona mainly came out with the whole idea because she's super clear with what they actually wanted.
They stopped relying on just by transactions, but they use the app for maybe their daily life. It becomes a social tool. For me, I think the presentation nerve-wracking because first time presenting to such a prominent person.
The competition is fierce, but there can only be one winner. Who will win?
One of the biggest asks in our presentation was actually getting a budget.
We are really asking for your approval for a budget, about 37 million rupiah.
So are you suggesting us to charge the merchant?
Maybe the term was used inaccurately.
So what's your timeline? Yeah, we need to see the timeline.
We don't really have a timeline yet because there are things that concept we want to confirm with you first.
I think what you're suggesting in phase A, 1A, is being realistic of the time frame, right?
The feedback we got from Pak Wendy and Pak Jo further refine our ideas and come up with a better presentation for the final presentation.
On my side, you are good to go to finalize the BDD.
The big concept is done already,
Right?
Yeah.
So now it does. You have to translate it into
collaboration and engagement with our team. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Very good.
Where do you find this? And they say, go through your big data processes. And where are we going to find all these big data processes?
Those are private data.
Unless you're in Malaysia, at least I can still call the ministry and ask for it. So I think the only regret that we have was that we didn't talk to Pak Jo and Pak Wendy straight earlier because we couldn't get much information.
How do you feel in general? Is there any points we could improve for the next 2 weeks as we plan this?
I think what you guys did within a short period of time, which is 5 weeks, to develop this is really something amazing, right? So I think the approach that you are using is creative but also wise. From out of the 3 groups, this is the first group that are showing the BDD and also can summarize it into a plan.
They really liked our idea and we were so happy about this.
How will Pat Jo and Pat Wendy evaluate the teams?
There are 2 teams out of 4 which I'm pretty much impressed with. A Boost Territory Partner and Boostpreneur, a consumer and influencers interaction model. They are more structured, very sharp in providing the data and the analysis. As for the other 2, they are not actually bad in comparison with this, the first 2 that I mentioned. They are more prepared. But the biggest part will be on the implementation.
Sharp, organized, and bold. The winner of this challenge is...
Company 1. Company 1.
The Undercovers.
I wasn't too surprised because we were very well prepared for it.
I'm like super happy for the team. All those many nights that I didn't sleep was worth it.
It's quite a shame that our idea was not as well received as what we thought would have been. We'll have to go back to the drawing board and see where we can better approach this.
I feel that we've done a good job, our whole team entirely.
If we had more time to sit down with the Boost Indonesia team, we would actually be able to sort of refine our ideas even more and give an even better presentation to Pak Jo and Pak Wendy.
I'm not mentoring them, I'm not telling them what to do, giving them a reflection of who they are and what potential they have, and then let them make decision of utilizing all the potential within themselves in order to achieve the purpose. That's my role.
Next, in FACEOFF.
Indonesia, 1 week of vacation.
We are ready. Every teams are constantly improving.
People still find cash as the most convenient.
More work to be done.
Say goodbye to them.